The Hauraki Big Show. Thanks to crave-worthy street food, freshly made with Reburger.
Welcome.
This is big.
To the Hauraki Big Show.
Really big.
With Jason Hoyte, Minogue and Keyzie.
Oh, g'day, you mad bastards. Great to have your company on this blustery Wednesday afternoon, the 11th of June, 2025. And you, my friends, as always, listen to the Big Show brought to you by Reburger.
Beef, chicken, vegan and vegetarian options available. Reburger, redefining the norm.
Reburger.
Chips.
Reburger.
Mogey. You were in, you were out.
Oh, hang on.
You were in and out. You were in and out, and then you were in. How are you going, you stallion? You can explain to the people what I'm talking about.
Going pretty grousey, you mad dog, you sick son of a bee. Although I'm the one that's actually sick. I don't want to bang on about it because I'm a backbone Keyzie.
Oh, sure.
And I shut up and get on with it. But today I called in sick.
You did.
But here I am. Because I knew the fellas and everybody out there in this great country of ours needed the team together to get through this hump day.
Yeah.
So here I am. I felt crook. I am crook. But apparently rest isn't going to help me. It's only time, Keyzie. Time heals all wounds, they say, brother. So here I am.
Because you got to wait for your antibiotics to kick in.
Yeah, my drugs, man.
Yeah,
got to wait for them to kick in. So I just thought I'll just turn up. And oh, look, it's going to be half-assed. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be terrible. But I'll be here.
That's all good, man. That's
Just
all
a
good.
standard then,
Standy,
yeah. Look, I'm stoked to have you here. Wish I could say the same for Pugs. I mean, obviously he was gearing up to help host the show today.
Yeah,
Had a lot of good content.
Yeah, we did. Well, it was funny because you walked in the middle of our podcast.
Yeah.
And I just saw Pugs' heart drop, you know, because it was like his big opportunity, you know, and Keyzie, you won't know this, Mogey. He sits where you are, of course, when you're not here, and he loves it. He's like...
He likes to sit in Dad's chair,
yeah,
right?
Yes, I'm assuming the Mogey, he calls it. I'm assuming the Mogey, don't you, Keyzie?
Yeah, I'm being Mogey today. I'm in Dad's chair. Oh, don't you want to sit in Mummy's chair, Hoytey Jase chair? Oh, no.
How you, Keyzie? I tell you what, I don't know if you noticed this. You may be feeling terrible there, Mogey, but old Keyzie's had a haircut and a shave.
Can I just say, Keyzie, you have had a shave. It looks like you've definitely had a haircut because I can see it under your cap there. Same cap as yesterday. It's got a guitar on it. But it looks very short. Is it much shorter than you traditionally get?
I don't think so.
Haircut?
Don't giggle when I show you my hair. No, it's not. It's just a bit of a fade.
Right.
Low down, quite short. Up top, still a bit of
sick.
Bit of action.
They've done a good job, man. They've done a good job. How are you feeling, Jase?
I'd feel really embarrassed going in and asking for that sort of haircut. Oh, just a fade and then cut it short down the angle there on the 750. And
well, it's the part of parting with the cash is the part that you struggle with. Does your wife still cut yours?
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
Should we get to the Fight Club?
Well, no. Well, Mogey asked how I was.
Yeah, man, that's what I did.
I'm good, thank you, Mogey.
Yeah, good.
Oh, that's good stuff, Jase.
The Hauraki Fight Club.
This is your life, and it's ending 1 minute at a time.
Yes, indeed, the Fight Club. Today, kicking off, or this afternoon, I should say, it's an interesting one. Muse versus the Beastie Boys, fellas.
That is a toughie. Now, I've seen Beastie Boys live. I haven't seen Muse live. One of the all-time great live bands, though, Muse. They have got some humongous rock and roll tunes. But Beastie Boys, obviously, they've got a catalogue dating all the way. One of the first albums I ever bought, Licensed to Ill, in 1986, it might have been, maybe 1987. Hell of an album, and they've got some tunes left, right, and centre, but very, very different bands.
Very much so. Don't forget, you have your say by texting through either Muse or Beastie Boys to 3483. Every single text in the draw for a $2,000 Sonos sound system, which is bloody ripper. And of course, if that artist or band gets voted in at the end of this hour, you'll find out which one makes it through to the very next round.
Good stuff. Easy choice for me, Muse all the way. But you have your say, New Zealand. Let's have a bit of Muse in the meantime.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyte, Mike Minogue and Keyzie.
Well, there you go, Muse. They have laid down the gauntlet, fellas, to the Beastie Boys. Interestingly enough, it was either this last weekend or the weekend before. I did a real deep dive into Muse in terms, like I know quite a few of their songs, but I've never really gone and listened to all their stuff. They're bloody great band.
Yeah.
They're bloody great. Hoytey J there and his little car hooning along, pumping out the Muse.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah, thanks, man.
What? Do you have any other favourite songs or a favourite album you stumbled across?
Nah.
Much of a deep dive, was it?
Well, I mean,
sounds
in
like a
terms
pretty
of,
deep dive.
In terms of, I mean, but I don't know about you guys. When I'm listening to music, I don't go, "Oh, what's the name of that song?" I never remember song names or albums. I just listen to the songs. And go, "Oh, that's a good song."
I used to remember it when it was on CD. I'd only know the track number.
Sure,
That's how I'd know it.
Number 4.
If that's for an example, certainly.
Yes.
Or 7 or...
I remember, like,
2.
was it Appetite for Destruction? Welcome to the Jungle was song number 1.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that.
Yeah, those were the days.
I think it was song number 1. I've just said it on the radio. Then so
somebody will get you for that, man.
hopefully it's correct, man. I'm pretty sure. Who are Muse up against? I hear you asking.
Beastie Boys, and you were saying off air. You were saying off air. You remember the Beastie Boys really well back in the day when you were a young fella, when you had the beads in your hair, when you had that. What did you call those?
Cornrow.
The beads.
Yeah, the cornrows.
Yeah. And me and my mates would go around. We were called the Beadstie Boys. That's how much we loved them. We put beads in, more than one kind.
Right.
Were they like coloured and stuff like that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And we'd play the Beastie Boys. Licensed to Ill, I believe, came out maybe like 87, I think it was.
Yeah.
And so they'll always hold a pretty special place in my heart, fellas.
It'd be great to get a photo of you at that time that we can put on the old Insta, Keyzie.
Yeah.
And when you got into your early teens, you're the Beatsy boy, eh?
That's right, the Beatsy Boy, yeah. What was that hand gesture, Mogey?
Actually, we should all get photos of us as teenagers because I was the most disgusting, foul beast.
Yeah.
But a tough little bastard, though.
Yeah.
He had a temper on him.
He certainly did.
You were on a cross old Hoytey J on the playground.
New Zealand, who do you want to see go through to the next round of the Hauraki Fight Club? Is it Muse or is it the Beastie Boys? Text us, 3483. Who are you voting for?
Tune.
We'll be announcing the winner at the end of this hour. Every text in the draw for a $2,000 Sonos sound system. Sabotage, Jase?
Yeah, man.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jase, Mike and Keyzie. Tune in weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
Well, there you go, the Beastie Boys on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Wednesday afternoon. Head to head then, Muse versus the Beastie Boys. You decide on 3483.
That's right, and old Mogey will tally up the votes and he'll have a winner who'll be moving through the next round of Hauraki Fight Club just before 5 o'clock.
Great stuff, Keyzie. Now listen, something happened on yesterday's show that needs to be addressed. Something so potentially horrific, fellas, that I find that, there's a lot of rumours flying around the place that we need to nip it in the bud and or own it. We have to abide by certain broadcasting standards. Yeah. And there are certain words, and one word in particular, that if it were mentioned on air would be the end of your career, pretty much. We agree with that?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about the end of your career.
It would be very, very I mean, if you had 3 lives, it would use up 2 3/4 of them.
Right. 2 3/4 buzzies out of 3.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And there was a very strong rumours going around that a certain member of the Big Show dropped a certain word during the show yesterday that we need to address.
Now, yesterday, right, a certain word was dropped after 6 that starts with F.
Yeah. Who dropped that?
I did.
Yeah. Again, old Keyzie. He's done it again.
That's not the word we're talking about.
I mean, that's by the by with you now.
That's just par for the course for old Keyzie. The word that we are discussing starts with C. All right? Now, the worst part about this was, and I'm very intrigued to listen back to this and see whether I did or did not offend, was that it was right in the middle of our great plug for Day in LoOOOo.
Yes.
Radio Hauraki, raising funds and awareness for bowel cancer New Zealand.
Yes, great cause.
A great cause. And so I'm just going to play a clip of audio, and I'm pretty sure I didn't swear, but we'll let the audience decide on 3483.
Now, what happens? Is there a binding referendum?
Yeah.
And what's the repercussions here?
Yes.
You're gone? Is that what we're saying?
What if I get stood down for one day?
Yeah,
and
unpaid.
can't work on the show.
Unpaid.
Well, I don't know.
Or you do the show by yourself and we get stood down.
No.
Actually, that's a good one.
No.
I reckon
I do that enough already.
If it's 50-50, or, the referendum, if it says, yes, you're guilty, then Mogey and I take tomorrow off.
No, I don't think me doing the show on my own is any kind of...
Well, it's penance.
Well, it is.
It's like us doing the breakfast show.
No, but it'll just be Keyzie with tunes. Like, no one wants that. People are going to vote against it just so that it doesn't happen.
Well, we'll find out.
Right, well, here's the statement in question in New Zealand. 3483, have your say on the matter. Did you know that 1 in 10 Kiwis diagnosed with bowel cancer are under the age of 50?
Sorry, what? Can now people know what they're listening for? Can you just play that one more time?
Okay, yeah, because I'm pretty sure that's fine. Did you know that 1 in 10 Kiwis diagnosed with bowel cancer are under the age of 50?
Sorry, what?
Yeah, it was just me putting a hilarious, funny...
Also, it was deliberate, you doing that.
Yeah, it was like, oh, bowel cancer. You know, it's
That's not what you said, though.
That's not what you said at all.
You doubled up on the first syllable.
Yeah, well,
you added a T.
No,
and
but
then
I
you
didn't
laughed
add
about
a
it,
T.
man. You laughed about it. That's the part that hurts.
What's really shocking to me, Mogey, is that Keyzie just admitted that he was trying to do something there, whereas I thought it was just a mispronunciation.
Yeah, a slip of the tongue.
A slip of the tongue, if you will.
Yeah,
but now I'm like, oh, no.
No, I can slip the tongue whilst trying to do something. You know what I mean? The both can happen at once, trust me.
Yeah.
Well, look, 3483, you guys decide, and if it's, it's a bit like Hauraki Fight Club. If it's more than 50-50 one way or the other, there will be a punishment. This one here.
Just one more time, Keyzie, please.
Did you know that 1 in 10 Kiwis diagnosed with bowel cancer are under the age of 50?
It's not good. Sorry, what?
Listen to you chuckling underneath that, Jase. Loves it. Loves hearing old Keyzie make a mistake.
The Hauraki Big Show podcast.
Queen and David Bowie there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Wednesday afternoon. The time is 4:37. As to whether or not Keyzie dropped the C word yesterday on the show, the consensus thus far on 3483 seems to be not guilty.
That's right. So I am not guilty, and if you've just tuned in, here is the moment. Did you know that 1 in 10 Kiwis diagnosed with bowel cancer are under the age of 50?
I'm really surprised by that response.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm not, and I think that's because of the repercussions. The repercussion we had in place was that if Keyzie was guilty, Hoytey, Jay and Mogey would take the day off tomorrow.
Oh, right, yeah.
People didn't want that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, I quite clearly didn't say a C word.
It was a C word.
If I could take, it was a word starting with C, but if I could take this negative and turn it into a positive, if you would like to donate $3 to Bowel Cancer New Zealand, text LoOOOo right now to 3779.
779.
Yeah.
Hey, I've got a bone to pick.
Oh, what? You've got a bone to pick?
I got a bone to pick.
Guys, it's been pretty rough for old Mogey lately. I'm not going to bang on about it, but been pretty crook. Last couple of weeks, pretty sick old Mogey. Been off to the doctors and that. Mm-hmm. Today, I made the difficult decision to not come to work.
Yes.
Feeling really buggered, a little bit woozy, nearly fainted.
You're G, man.
And
You
I
look
thought,
great, by
I
the
thought
way.
a little bit of rest might do me the world of good.
Sure.
But I looked into what I'm suffering from, and apparently the antibiotics I'm on won't kick in for another week, which is just great news. And as it turns out, rest won't help me. So what I've done is I took a few extra pseudoephedrins or whatever they're called, and I've just come in to power through the show, but not before I called in sick. We've got a chat group on WhatsApp, and I said, day off for me, fellas. Sadly, the sickness is getting worse, so I'm going to have a lie down for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Immediately, I get a text back from Pug-San. Feel better soon, Mogey. Love you. Kiss, kiss, kiss.
Yeah, but he's
such a
full
Then,
on.
then I say,
man.
thanks, mate. You're a backbone, Pugs.
Yeah.
And then from old Keyzie and Hoytey Jay, my two workmates here on air, not a whisper from either of you. Not a get well soon, not a feel better, just a shove it up your ass, Mogey.
So
what's the story
well,
there,
look,
guys, honestly?
I'll be honest with you. When we were doing the podcast outro and we thought you weren't coming in, there were serious discussions about do we drown the runt?
Yeah.
And, you know, that...
And I'll also add to that, it was mostly Pugs leading those conversations.
sure.
He was just firing off.
He's a real say one thing to your face,
sure.
one
Yeah.
thing behind your back kind of guy.
So, you know, we're backbones on this show. I think Keyzie and I probably were of the same mind. Just get on with it, man.
We'll get on with
man.
it. And also, I had to check my phone, Mogey. I didn't even realise, man.
Because it says here that you read it about 1 minute after I sent it.
Did it?
I
So
have
it says, Keyzie's left Mogey on red. What does that mean?
I have this weird
It's
thing
weird.
where, you know, because we had the same thing with me and Keyzie the other day with golf. And
Oh,
he sent me
yeah,
a
with
message
gold.
and he said,
Yeah.
oh, but it says you've seen it. I mean, I'm inundated all the time, Mogey, with messages. And actually what happened was I was driving in when you sent that message, and so I couldn't respond.
You're piling up the excuses here. I don't know which one to choose.
Good
And
Scrambling,
then
man.
I just forgot to reply because
Oh,
I had a
yeah.
show to do.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's all good, man. What about you, Keyzie?
Well, to be honest, man, I was going to call you. We were just in the middle of a brainstorm for a new campaign we're running soon, and I was going to call you after that and just say it personally rather than...
Yeah, but you didn't.
Nah, because
Yeah.
we had
Well, I understand where you guys are both coming from, but it's just a bit gutty, no?
Actually, just
bit
on that, I
gutty.
mean, he said he was going to call you, but he was bagging you, man. He was saying...
Jase, come on, we're in this together, man. Jase.
He made the point.
Where can I hear this bagging?
Oh, definitely on our podcast out tonight at 7:30.
Where do you get your podcast from, me?
Wherever you listen to good podcasts, just search
cool.
Hauraki Big Show.
Hauraki
Pugs.
Big Show. I'll be having a listen
Maybe
to that.
delete that stuff I said about the fit people always getting sick and stuff.
Yeah.
Good on you, mate.
Yeah, trim this podcast, yeah. Oh, is this Weezer? I dedicate this one to Mogey.
Mogey.
Yeah.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyte, Mike Minogue, and Keyzie.
You too there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Wednesday afternoon. The time is 9 minutes to 5 o'clock. Let's talk TV. What's on the telly with Mike Minogue?
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
Good one, man.
Come on, Jason.
Yeah, good one. Last night I watched the last episode of Department Q on Netflix. It's a murder mystery sort of a thing. There's a detective. It's set in Scotland, I should say off the bat, even though the lead detective is a Pom. Look, he's had some struggles, man. He's had some battles. Not with the booze, weirdly, but he's been shot. He's carrying some survivor's guilt, but he's very good at what he does. And he's been given his own department where he can solve cold cases with a sort of a ragtag bunch of off-cut losers from other parts of the police
quirky
department.
assistants.
Yeah, and last night was the last episode number 9. Now, turn this off if you don't want any spoilers, okay? So this is all about this woman who's gone missing, presumed dead, and they're trying to track her down. You sort of cut over to her. She's actually been held hostage. She's not been killed after all, and so they're trying to track her down. And what's going to happen? Is she going to die, or are they going to find her in time? And this is sort of 4 years she's been held captive. Well, lo and behold, last night they bloody found her.
You're joking.
They found her, and she was all G.
Well, that's great.
How good's that?
Well, not really, because I'm getting to the final part of the series.
I'll tell you what, it's a hell of a relief. I was worried sick. I was worried
Are
sick.
you watching this show?
Yes.
And he's just spoiled the end of it for you.
But have I?
Yes.
Because I might have made it up.
Yeah, old Department
Yeah.
Mogey over there.
I can't remember the name of the coast of his helper, but
Yeah.
I agree with you. His performance is great.
He's great.
Really, really good. He's
Great
from,
fella.
Where's he's from?
Syria.
And his performance is very understated, but very well done.
Do you remember the show Inspector Morse? And
I do.
And he had the offsider there, the younger guy. Can't remember his name, but he ended up getting his own spin-off.
He did.
Crap. But they could do that with this, and it would be better than Department Q, which I give...
You gave it 1.5 buzzies, I think.
I think I'd go so far as 2. It was a good last episode. I'd go so far as 2 buzzies, but it's a lot of time to commit to something that's pretty annoying.
Yeah.
2 out of 5 buzzies.
That's out of 5 buzzies.
A little while back,
A little while back.
I watched a classic old film at the at the Academy Theatre there in town, Chinatown. With
Don't
Jack.
do the accent, for God's sake.
Oh
So Chinatown is where you watched it?
no, Chinatown is the name of the movie.
The name of the movie.
With the great Jack Nicholson, Faye Dunaway, and I think
Written by Robert Townsend.
Yeah.
Regarded as the best screenplay of all time.
Well,
Wow,
yeah,
really?
it won Oscar for Best Screenplay, and it got nominated for like 14, I think, and that was the only one that won of their 14 nominations. 1979, I think it was, Roman Polanski, who
Yes.
had to flee America for all sorts of sexual reasons.
Can I say?
Yeah,
I think that movie sucks.
yeah,
Yeah.
it did.
Wow.
Yep.
It did.
It's my hot take, man. I never liked that movie.
And interesting thing about it, especially in the movies sort of in the 1970s, the sort of overt sexism, racism, and all
it's
that
got
sort
that
of stuff.
going for it, but other than that, it was terrible.
Yeah, not great, but my wife and I, sitting in the little cinema there, we cozied up and got through it. My wife was effing and jeffing towards the end, though. She wasn't happy. So it's got a very annoying end.
It's quite a hard turn at the end there. It was something that I watched when I was really young because it's something that you know about, and I hated it. And then watched it later on in my life, thinking, it must be an age thing. And I continue to think it is massively, massively overrated.
Yeah,
So
1.5 buzzies.
1.5 pussies out of 5. The only saving grace from Hoytey J was the racism and the sexism. Okay. And that was called what? Chinatown.
Chinatown.
Not everything is worth fighting for, but this is the Radio Hauraki Fight Club. The search for the ultimate.
Welcome to Fight Club.
The Hauraki Fight Club champion. Let the fight begin.
That's right, the fight has already begun. It was Muse taking on the Beastie Boys this hour. Mogey's been on the counting. How are we looking?
I want you to know that I count every single one of these. Quite literally, I sit down with my little bit of paper here. I've got a red pen today, and I count them all up. It's very serious, and I count them twice just to be sure. Muse against the Beastie Boys. Winner today.
Can I just say, gut feeling, Muse should clean up. Is my gut feeling.
I can't remember what my original feeling was, and I feel so crook, I don't know what's going on. Jase, did you have a gut feeling, man?
No, I had a bowel feeling.
Isn't that part of your gut?
And weirdly, it was telling me kind of it was going beastie.
Well, with 52.8% of the vote. Beastie Boys, baby.
Oh, wow, that is so close.
Yeah.
The Beastie Boys knocking up Muse, that's a huge upset, I feel.
Well, it's pretty close.
Yeah.
It's pretty close. But Beastie Boys have been around forever. They're a huge part of people's lives. Whereas Muse, a little bit more limited, I think.
Yeah. So there you go. Every text through, by the way, on 3483 in the draw for that $2,000 Sonos sound system, and that'll be picking up again tomorrow morning on the Hauraki Breakfast Show.
The only thing that's annoying me about Fight Club at the moment is we don't get to hear what Keyzie's watching at the moment. It's interfering with that, and I go off what he watches, so you know what I mean? And now I might get home at night with my wife, and it's like, Keyzie didn't tell me what to watch tonight, so I don't know what to do.
Yeah, well, it's also not just that segment's fault. It's also you banging on about a movie that's 50 years old that no one's even heard of.
If you haven't heard of Chinatown, you're a dear brain.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jase, Mike and Keyzie. Tune in weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
Welcome back, you massive backbones. Hope you're getting through your hump day okay. You're listening to The Big Show, brought to you by Reburger.
Crave-worthy street food freshly made with Reburger.
Reburger.
Chaps.
Reburger.
How did you come up with that one? Chips.
Sometimes another thing that I like to do, Jason, this is like, you'll know this from all your time doing improv. You just sit there, you totally go blank, you clear your mind. It's a meditational technique.
Okay.
And then once you are sort of fed in some content from somewhere else, or you're inspired, in this case by you doing your little chat there, and then
crave-worthy street food, freshly made with Reburger.
That's great. And then that sting, which played there as well.
Which was this one, I think.
Reburger.
Now, when I think Reburger, I think
chips.
Yeah,
because you like
so
chips.
Just chips came out.
Oh, wow.
It's like a mental and emotional association game, isn't it?
It is.
Because just as a listener sitting here, I thought you just sort of said the first thing that came into your head.
Well, that's exactly what happened.
Right.
And that's pure reaction to what a fantastic product Reburger have got, Keyzie. Okay, man?
You're right.
And I don't even consider it a product.
Can I actually...
I consider it a part of my life.
I was going to say,
man.
they're like family to me.
Especially the sauce chicken.
Sauce chicken. Yeah.
It's really weird because, we all struggle with a bit of sleep sort of scenarios, fellas, and falling asleep.
Yeah.
Now what I find I do is I'm falling to sleep as I think of Reburger and Reburger chips, and it just calms me down.
Do you think about chips like jumping over a fence?
Yeah,
And you count them.
yeah. Well, what I actually do is I dream of me getting a chip out of the punnet and dipping it in the sauce chickens.
In the sauce
No,
chicken?
not in the sauce
You can't
chicken.
do that.
But,
They hate it when you do that.
yeah, they do.
Have you tried it?
Well, don't do that, Keyzie. You'll lose a couple of fingers.
Well, I'm not dipping a chip in a sauce chicken. That's ridiculous. I'll dip it into the sauce.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's what they're there for, right?
Hey, now coming up, New Zealand, We're going to be discussing rules in the workplace, relationships.
Yeah,
this
and
is
flirting and being a sicko.
Well, this is for anyone that's ever been in a relationship in the workplace, and we've got that happening right now at Radio Hauraki. We've got old Pug-San
blazingly in front of our eyes.
We'll get into that, but and rules that may or may not be needed to be set up so that Pug-San can remain professional, and do his big show duties whilst also cuddling up with the partner there, or passion, or whatever the kids are doing these days. So that's going to be next.
Good stuff, Keyzie.
Don't good stuff, Keyzie, be that.
That's like my wife saying,
stuff.
When I say to my wife, sure, she goes, no, not sure.
Good stuff, Jason.
The Hauraki Big Show podcast.
By a woman, you're to blame.
You got to blame her, right?
Totally, man.
It's her fault.
Now, we wanted to talk about the sort of protocols behind sort of workplace relationships, didn't we, fellas? And with that in mind, we've got our great mate, producer, Pug-San, in the studio with us, who has been embarking on a new love.
Yeah, he's been embarking on it.
He's been embarking
like
on
it's a voyage.
It's like, well, it is a voyage. It's a journey, Keyzie, as you know.
Yeah.
And he joins us now. G'day, Pug-San.
Is that why you had my mic off, Keyzie, so you could play Sakura Cherry Blossom over the top of me there?
How you going?
Don't get
Yeah, I'm
distracted,
good, guys.
Pugs,
How you
man.
guys going?
Yeah, stay
thank you for
focused.
having me.
Well, you nearly did the show today, didn't you? And then old Mogey turned up for work and you were gutted.
I'm
Pulled
glad
the
you're
rug
all
out
good,
from
Mogey.
underneath you.
Yeah,
I'm glad you're all good, brother.
So, Pugs,
Hello.
you've got a relationship. It's public now, right? It's public knowledge.
Yeah, I
You've
would
got
say so.
a relationship going, and beautiful couple you guys are, by the way.
Thanks, man.
Beautiful couple.
That's very kind.
Now, the interesting thing about your partner is that she works here in this building.
She does.
Recently has shifted to a new position, job position, I mean. And she now is upstairs in the building to where all the fancy people are.
That's right. She it was her first day yesterday in the
great.
new role, and it's a big dog job. She's upstairs, level 2, would you believe?
Wow.
Unreal.
I didn't even know this building went that high.
wonder.
Yeah, I
He's,
mean,
level
I've
2.
been here
Yeah.
16 years. I'm still on the ground floor.
Yeah, but you're a man of the people, Jase.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Pug-San.
true,
That's
man.
true.
So I understand you guys have set a rule.
Okay, we didn't set any rules. I was approached with this rule maybe a week before yesterday. And it was just sort of like a pre-warning thing.
Yeah.
And the rule is I am forbidden from...
You?
Me, Pugs, forbidden from visiting my partner in her new workspace
Right.
for 1 month.
And why is that? Is that who's laid that rule down?
Not me.
Her.
Oh, she's
That's
done it.
right.
Okay, I thought it could have been management. It could have been anything. Right?
No, there was no
Right, so
HR process.
she-
So
Generally,
she's just trying to work out whether there's any better options up there, and she doesn't want anybody knowing that you exist.
This is
That's
why I'm
smart.
glad I brought this in.
She's
here.
smart,
This is-
man.
Yeah.
Also,
Well,
it's-
that's why she's on level 2, Mogey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
Out
what I
of
mean?
sight,
And
out of
also,
mind.
You can imagine the big dogs up there, man.
also, they don't like filth on level 2.
No, exactly.
Well,
So if old half a mongrel Pug-San goes up there, especially within the first month, right? Like you're dropping down roots
huh?
in
beg
the
your
new
pardon?
position.
Yeah.
You're putting down roots, right? And you're really working things out for the first 3 months, to be honest. And so she doesn't need her like bad boy.
But she's allowed to come down here?
That's right. I am allowed to be visited in my workspace,
Oh, Pug-San.
as per the usual.
How do you feel about this, man?
Look, man.
Honestly, because you've been made to look a fool.
Like you sitting there right now, you
And
look like an idiot.
absolute-
And let me tell you, I feel it.
Can I?
Yeah.
Can I just
I
say?
feel like
What-
a fool.
Can I
That
just
hat's not
say
helping.
too, fellas? Can I just say too that she does come down every day and visit you before she leaves?
That's right.
Can I just remind you, Pug-San, that there is a glass sort of thing there. It's not a curtain or anything.
The
Yeah.
partition, Jase. The glass partition,
to
Jase.
Studio B, we can see in there. It's
Yeah.
not, as you can see, tinted glass.
Well,
so maybe
looking
just,
at it now, I can see the computers from Studio B.
yeah. So maybe
Through there,
just
so
pull
it
it
is
back a
transparent,
bit.
yeah.
So-
just pull it back a
well,
bit.
that's-
What back?
This is what I like about all this is so she started by implementing a rule.
That's right.
I wouldn't mind adding a few rules of my own for you guys.
Well, that's... Oh,
well, just for general romance in office
sorry.
as opposed to
General.
Pugs specifically.
Okay, thank you.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
certainly motivated by that.
Sure.
Foundational.
Yeah.
But I'd like to know what the rules are for office romances, 3483.
Yeah, every text through in the draw for a Reburger voucher.
Because there's quite a few businesses, I think, which rule them out. You're not allowed to have any romance,
Yeah.
and which is sort of something that should be implemented here, I think.
I think so.
Because you were in a
Right.
position of power, Pugs.
Pardon?
You were in a position of power.
Producer of
as
the Big Show, man.
producer
Think
of the
about it.
Big Show.
Such a big dog.
And
in
you're
that
going to
role.
sit there and say that being the producer of the Big Show didn't have a massive hand in your new relationship?
Yeah.
Easy.
Come on, man.
Easy, brother.
So 3483, if anyone's got any rules, doesn't have to be specific to Pugs and his partner, although they could be.
Sure.
Like for example, my one would be like just gun to my head, no spooning in the tea room. The amount of times I've come in and you guys are just spooning on the ground in the tea room. So that's just a rule I'd put
Yeah,
in.
Fair
okay.
enough.
Well,
mate,
yeah,
fair. Well, it's confronting.
It is. It's just the way they do it, yeah.
Well, we could book
So
a boardroom for that or something, man.
go through the official channels.
Yeah,
absolutely.
okay,
So
Let us know, New Zealand, what you think about the
Yes.
situation, what it's like in your workplace, in fact, and let's get into a bit of Fleetwood Mac.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyte, Mike Minogue, and Keyzie.
I'm actually, Actually, I'll talk about this a little bit later. It's not the time.
that's a great tease, Jase.
That's good tease, man.
Guns N' Roses there, by the way. Now, listen, we were talking about office romances, and our great friend and companion and mate, old Pug-San.
And producer.
And producer. He's in a new relationship, and it, by all accounts, looks to be going great guns, fellas.
Yeah, it certainly is, and we're sort of trying to
Well, it
establish.
has been.
Well, it has been.
Yeah.
Up till this point. We were trying to establish, are there rules around dating and stuff when you're working in the same workplace? And that's because Pugs' new partner, who works upstairs, has recently instigated a rule that he's not allowed to come up to the new part of the office and visit her for the first month. Now, with this in mind, we've actually fortuitously got Pugs' new partner in here with us. Millie, welcome to the studio.
Hi guys, pleasure to be here.
Are we allowed to use your name right? Because Pugs just calls you Mrs. Pug-San.
Yeah, that's okay.
So this rule, Pugs isn't allowed to come visit you for the first month.
Yeah.
Is that actually accurate? Talk us through the rule yourself.
No, yeah, that is accurate. I just think it's a good amount of time for me to establish myself as a professional and person that is going to get taken seriously and doesn't fraternize in the office.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, because
sure.
Pug's can be a bit of an animal, can't he? I mean,
Exactly.
and
He's got an appetite.
Yeah, and he's...
And
yeah.
also, the key word there, phrase, was taken seriously. And I know you were saying off air, Millie, that you worry that people don't take you seriously when you're with Pugs.
Yeah, that is a really big problem for us.
Do you think it's because of the hats he wears?
No, I think it's more about the things that come out of his mouth.
Right, yeah, because he can be bloody filthy.
Well, he's
old
a
Pugs,
stallion,
eh?
you know.
Yeah, well, he is.
If you've had a lifetime, Jase, of not being kept in check like Pugs.
I've got to admit that the first time that, I realised that you were a couple, and Keyzie mentioned it earlier, was when you guys were spooning in the office there.
Yeah.
And I've never come across that in the workplace. So it was a bit of a sort of, whoa, I've got used to it now, you guys doing it all the time. But, yeah, okay, so he's not allowed up to the second floor, the ooh-la-la floor, as we like to call it.
Yeah.
Oh, do you?
It's
Yeah,
where the fancy
yeah.
people
Okay.
work.
For the fancy
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
the
Yeah.
bogsies and what have you, for a month.
For a month. I think that's a pretty good amount of time.
Sure,
And
okay.
then he can start coming up. But it's just, we had quite an open door policy over when I was on this floor.
Okay.
Very much so, yeah.
And that was great, but I think it just needs to be brought in a little bit.
Yeah, I think it was more of a revolving door policy, to be honest. Like, you guys were either over there but that's not what we're here to talk
Well,
about.
I can still come here.
Yeah, that's fine.
I can still come here.
Can we
so
also
that's
just
fine.
say that, you are, Pugs is shaking his head, but you are welcome to come here whenever you want, okay? So we're not trying to
Thanks,
impress
guys.
anyone down here. We are what we are. We're not ashamed of anyone like the upstairs ooh-la-la people. So, you're always welcome.
Oh, I really appreciate that, Keyzie.
Yeah.
Always liked you.
Now,
Yeah. Well, you like Keyzie so much that you gave him an expired voucher the other night
Oh, yeah.
over Mogey and I.
Yeah.
I was quite hurt by that, Millie.
Were you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, it's just she
I'll
knows
find
that-
some more expired ones if I do.
yeah, well, she's upstairs now, man. There's good free stuff up there. A lot of people texting in great advice
Can we read
for
it?
office dating. Well, this one's good. Is it? Am I allowed to read this? Am I allowed to read this? Okay, I'll read this one instead. Dry humping, okay. No exposed genitals in the workplace. I mean, that's a good rule.
I mean, that's a good rule. Yeah, that sounds pretty standard. You comfortable with that?
On ground floor.
Yeah.
Okay, second floor.
So you can have genitals on the second floor?
Only in the kitchen area.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Right, so...
And only after a month.
Right, so in a month's time, exposed genitals fine on the second floor, but in the kitchen area, but not fine down here on the ground floor.
Probably the other way around, but let's just roll with it. I need to work out my own rules.
Okay, cool. I'm going to be honest, 99% of these can't actually be...
Yeah, right. It's a spell, so...
Well, Millie, can we just say we wish you all the best with your job up there?
And congratulations.
Congratulations. We hope the relationship with Pugs isn't going to be something that slows you down career-wise. I don't think it will do.
Have you heard the phrase swimming with an anchor?
No, but I can
Yeah,
put
it
some
makes
two
sense,
together.
right?
Yeah, it's just something to keep in mind,
Yeah.
really. And good luck for the future. And can't wait to have you on the show heaps. And just grill you about your relationship with Pug-San all the time.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. Free counselling.
The Hauraki Big Show podcast.
Yes, indeed. She-Hard there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Wednesday evening. The time is 5:41, and of course, fellas, great day today. Field day started up.
Oh,
with a
man.
hiss and a roar, as always.
It's a shame that we're not down there really for it.
I was.
You were?
Yeah, I went for a quick drive down there. Normally we'd be there every year, but this year it didn't happen. Other commitments, but I ducked down there. I got there about 7 o'clock this morning.
You couldn't help yourself, could you?
Field days is out the gate, man. There's nothing else like it on the planet.
Out the gate, that's like a farm joke.
Yeah,
It's good stuff, man.
That's great stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there probably is other stuff like it on the planet, Mogey.
There's nothing. I've had a look. Nothing.
What, like no conventions about farming and agriculture and stuff?
Yeah, but there's no New Zealanders at them, or very few. This is predominantly Kiwis, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, totally.
It is.
Yeah. Well, in that
Yeah.
case, yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Worth going down this year as well. And if you are planning on going down... Or up. If you're below the Waikato area.
Which is most of New Zealand.
Population-wise, though, man?
Come on, mate.
Population-wise?
Oh, man.
Dunno.
Yeah, exactly. So if you are thinking of going along to Field Days, of course it runs tomorrow again, right through till Saturday. Make sure you go along to site M3. M3 on your map there.
M3.
Look down at your Field Days map. Go to M3. M for Mogey.
3.
Sorry, M30.
M30.
What is it?
M30.
I'm confused now. Can we start this again?
Sorry, so Mogey, look down at M3 and then go across 27 spaces to M30.
27.
M30. It's the Case IH tractor site.
Yes.
Now,
why didn't you say so? That's M30.
the Case IH
That's
site.
M30.
M30.
You can't miss
Everybody
those
knows
bastards.
No, you can't. And you definitely can't miss them because there's a backbone tractor parked up there.
Yes.
It's got a photo of the three of us out front looking cool. Me and Jase looking cool. Mogey looking like a bit of a spud, but that's all G. You can get yourself a photo.
Keizie's got his hoodie on.
He has. He looks so cool.
He looks so snazzy. He's like, I know what I'll do for the photo shoot. I'll put my hoodie on.
Well, the issue was because you had the same Swanee on. I was like, well, if I put my hood up and yours is down.
Yeah, I know, but you'll be regretting it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon. A little bit.
I was also keen to look like a spud, but I was like, damn, Mogey's already doing that. But if you go along the backbone tractor, it's there. You can see a photo of us looking great. And somewhere on the tractor, which is the next generation Puma, there is a code word.
Yes. Is it Spud?
It might be Spud. Write it down, and then you call through to the big show on Monday afternoon. You can win $1,000.
Wow.
How good is that, man? Imagine that, $1,000.
Imagine $1,000.
Just to make a phone call.
One phone call. $1,000.
Wow.
A million possibilities.
Wow.
Tune.
It is a tune.
It is a tune,
You
actually,
like this
fellas.
one?
Yeah, this is a tune. Who's this again, Jase?
The Undertones.
Oh, yeah. Teenage Kicks, eh? It's the name of it, eh?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
The Hauraki Big Show podcast.
Led Zeppelin there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Wednesday evening. The time is 5:48. Let's go to the phone lines. G'day, Dave, you mad bastard. How's life?
Yeah, good, mate. Good.
Good on you, mate. What do you do for a crust, Dave?
Oh, dirty old mechanic.
Backbone.
Yeah. Go on,
mate.
Keyzie, hit him with a question about a mechanic, man.
Diesel mechanic, man?
Yeah.
No, petrol, Keyzie.
Good on you, mate.
Yeah, good
Petrol,
on you. Saying
yeah.
Wow, I'm not qualified.
Tell me, Dave,
I don't know
how's your general knowledge?
No, good and bad.
Doesn't have to be good here, man. Pug-San's absolutely doled it in today, man, with these questions. Shocking.
Massively so.
All right. You ready to play the Jase, Dave?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
So, how this works, 5 questions. You just have to get 3 of them correct, and you get that $50 Reburger voucher. Let's do it, Jase.
All right, Dave. First question. How many bases are there on a baseball field? Dave?
9.
Yeah, it's close, man.
No, sorry, bases, Dave. Bases, not players.
4.
4, yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to give it to him. Yeah, he was thinking players.
Oh, I was going to say.
He was thinking players.
Oh,
Yeah, no, it was,
No, it was bases.
That was interesting, Dave, because for a brief moment there, everybody in New Zealand thought you were the biggest idiot on the planet. But you misheard the question. So
could
that's
be.
Okay, we'll take that. We'll accept
You got that right, man.
Yeah,
Okay, all right,
Jeez.
hang on.
Yeah.
All right, Dave, your second question. What do you call a scientist who studies plants?
A botanist.
Oh, that's
He's
well
very good.
done.
He's
Botanist.
very good. Yeah.
Okay, your third question.
1 more correct, and you get a Reburger voucher.
Bring it on.
What type of race is the Tour de France?
Oh, bicycle.
Oh, he's got it right.
A bicycle.
It's a bicycle race, man.
I prefer cycling, but yeah.
Well, the answer here actually is
but-
Pugs has got it, is bicycle race.
Queen had it down pat.
Yes, they did.
Bloody ripper, mate.
great
Dave,
stuff.
you, my friend, are getting a $50 Reburger voucher, man. Enjoy.
Is that the toughest
Oh,
competition in
you
radio?
legends. Thank you.
No worries, mate. Do you think that is, guys? We'll
Well,
put you through to Pug-San there. Sorry, Dave, but is that the toughest competition in radio there?
That one just then.
Yeah, I think there might be. So, what is the Tour de France in terms of what kind of race is it?
A bicycle race.
A bicycle race.
Yeah,
What was
yes.
the first one there?
How
That was
many
a toughie.
bases?
How many bases in
Now,
baseball?
That threw him,
It did.
admittedly.
When he said 9, I thought he was steamed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought, what the hell's going on?
I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah, but it was
but
a
it's
misunderstanding,
good.
eh, fellas?
Yeah,
So it was
yeah.
actually all G. God, that segment rules.
I
Cheers,
think
Pugs,
it's
man.
actually beginning to nudge what's on the dinner with Keyzie.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyte, Mike Minogue, and Keyzie.
Red hot chili peppers here on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Wednesday evening. The time is 5:56. I believe we've got a talk back there, Keyzie.
We do have a talk back, which is something you can send if you're listening digitally on iHeartRadio, which is an app on your smartphone. You hit the little microphone button down the bottom once you're listening to Hauraki, and you can record a voice message. Here's one, fellas.
Yeah. Hey, James Hetfield here. I can't wait for what's on the dinner in New Zealand.
So that was
the real deal as
that
well.
was
Yeah,
for the
he
lead
was the
singer
real
of
deal.
Metallica.
Yes.
Who's excited for what's on the dinner. Unfortunately, we did that segment yesterday, so we won't be doing it tonight.
However,
what?
we will be doing
Oh,
the magnificent, the second favourite segment we do. It's close to overtaking the most popular one, which is what's on the dinner with old Keyzie over there.
yeah.
What's on the leftovers?
What's on the leftovers?
Yeah,
Well,
so
no, it's
good.
not what's on the leftovers.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it
What's
is.
on the left?
It's
Of course it
what's-
is.
We've had a complete rebrand.
It's what's
Totally, man.
what's for leftovers.
No,
New
what's
Zealand.
on the leftovers,
That doesn't make
Keyzie?
sense.
Can you read the text, please, on 3483?
Had a great text here, fellas, on 3483.
What does it say?
This is every text, by the way, in the draw for a $50 Reburger voucher. G'day, fellas. I love the Backbone T-shirts. Would you consider adding to the merch with some dadouche bags? Like a bag with dadouche written on it. A dadouche bag. Thanks. That's from Nick in Christchurch.
No, you
Wait
go,
a minute.
Mogi.
What do you think about that?
I think it's a great idea.
A dadouche
I
bag.
think it's a great idea because the man bag sort of thing is really in style now, isn't it? You get a little bum bag, you put your little wallet in there, etc., etc.
Or your drugs.
You sling it over your shoulder and all that sort of. I think it'll be great.
I could get my wife to make up some prototypes because she makes bags.
She's a shocker, though, eh? One of her eyes is on the piss, so all of her sewing's wonky hairs.
And, because you know how she was doing that rope jewellery? Remember that, fellas?
That was horrendous.
She's making rope bags
Mike,
now.
You keep forgetting to say you were saying off air, and it just sounds like you're bagging Jason's wife.
It does a little bit, doesn't it? So what's for what's on the leftovers after 6?
Yes, and your wife's going to make a douchebag prototype.
Yeah, good.
Sweet.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jase, Mike and Keyzie. Tune in weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
Welcome back, you massive backbones. Hope your Wednesday's going along very nicely indeed. You're listening to The Big Show, brought to you by Reburger.
Oops, fired that off too early. Handcrafted burgers, loaded fries, and gourmet eats that'll change the game.
Spud.
Reburger.
That's so smart. Saying spud like that.
Fellas, I have a massive
Rager.
bone to pick.
Oh, you got a bone to pick.
I got a bone to pick.
Earlier in the day, as we were doing the show, I had a deep longing for chips.
As per.
But it was bad today, Mogey. Some days you can sort of get through it, and it's like... But at the moment, the ACC, who we steal all the chips from, there's just nothing available. It's all disappeared.
There's some somewhere.
You're right, Keyzie, there is. I can feel them somewhere, but I just can't find them. So Keyzie says to me, Mogey...
He says...
Go and steal some Pringles under Kate's desk.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
And so I went, okay. So I went and got said Pringles and stole them.
Yeah.
I come back and I open them up. I take 3 Pringles out and I have a little chew on those. We do a bit of radio. I come back and you absolute hummus, you disgusting, disgraceful savages had eaten the entire little pottle of Pringles. Worse than that, Keyzie posts me stealing it on his Instagram.
Yeah, there's a video up on the Instagram there, Hauraki Big Show.
About Hoytey J.
Oh, Hoytey J just busted in the act. It makes me sick.
Come on, man.
You're an animal, man.
Come on, fellas.
You have a few chips. I thought that was all you wanted, though. Why are you worried if we eat them or not?
Well, I wanted more than 3, Mogey.
Oh, you should have got more than 3.
But you double-fisted it while I was doing some admin on the show.
You never do
What
any
admin were you doing?
Keyzie had a Pringles bird nest in front of him that he just piled all on top. I'm the one that stole them. I'm the one that the bloody video's been published about.
Go steal another one.
Okay.
Can you get a different flavour this time?
The brown ones? What are the brown ones?
I don't know. But anyway, shout out to Reburger, the actual sponsor of our show, and not Pringles.
Yeah, totally.
We don't steal Reburger. I pay good coin for it.
Oh, and happily.
Happily part with my... If Hauraki was like, hey, why don't we just pay you in Reburger vouchers, would you be keen with that? I'd be like, yes.
Yes.
And sauce chicken.
And sauce chickens, totally.
Yeah, and sauce chickens. Because that makes sense.
Here's Aerosmith.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyte, Mike Minogue and Keyzie.
Pearl Jam there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show. Yes.
Pearl Jam, that's interesting because of what you're about to talk about now.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. Hey,
what's up, man?
I know this is going to sound really weird, fellas, but I think Jizz is trying to kill me.
Jizz is to clarify.
My cat.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it happened yesterday, actually. I was walking through my lounge into the kitchen with a few plates and stuff in my hand, and Jizz ran right in front of me.
All of a sudden, this has got an air of inauthenticity about it, doesn't it, Keyzie? Because it sounds like Jase is taking plates to the kitchen or returning them to, but you don't do that here.
No, you leave all your cups here overnight.
I'm very anal about that in my home.
Oh, in your home.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I like things to be tidy at
your home.
Mogey. Yeah. And she ran straight in front of me, and I had to go, whoa, and I was like, whoa.
Why? How fast were you going? Why did you have so much momentum?
You know, when I'm tidying up, I'm going about my business pretty,
Oh,
Yeah.
and,
All
at pace.
business,
and
At pace.
your house's foundations are on the piss, right? So you were
Yeah,
going
so it's on a
downhill.
bit of a slope. Exactly. That happened like 3 or 4 times yesterday.
On one trip to the kitchen.
Well, no, on several trips, and it was always when I was holding like cups and saucers and stuff like
Where
that.
were you taking them
So
from?
if I was like, if I tripped over, I wouldn't be able to save my face.
Right.
And then last night, I was like in bed as fast asleep, and then I sort of woke up suffocating.
Yeah.
And I had jizz all over my face.
Oh, really? What the hell?
And she was lying on my face, I think trying to smother me, trying to actually suffocate me.
You don't think that Jizz was doing it in a loving way?
No, I don't, Keyzie.
It must have been a struggle for just to cover your mouth and your honker at the same time. Surely the cat's not that big.
Well, this is the she's not a huge cat, but the thing was, Mogey, she'd stuffed her tail down my throat.
Yes.
So that was a deliberate act, and she's one of those.
So you woke up gagging with jizz on your face?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. And then again today, the same thing. As soon as I pick up dishes, and you know what? Oh, and I have to stop. It's full on, man.
Where are you taking the dishes
Oh,
from?
well, this time it was from my daughter's room because she has those Milos, you know what I mean? But then she doesn't take the cups out and it gets all hard and
Bakes
you can't.
on there.
Bakes on there. You can't bloody clean
You
the
know what's
bastard.
good for cleaning that off? And this is an old housewives' tale. Jizz.
Oh, sorry, the cat.
Yeah. You get jizz on it. And the cat will just lick it off. They love it.
Yeah, Jase.
Have you tried that?
Have you thought of trying that, man?
Jase.
Don't
Your cat jizz.
You fellas aren't going to take me seriously.
It's a
I'm
what?
not.
Well, look, it is a concern that,
I mean, it happens every time now. Every time I carry dishes.
Do you think...
I'm terrified of going to bed at night and waking up with jizz all over my face.
Amen to that, man. Been there before.
I know you have, Keyzie.
The Hauraki Big Show podcast.
Talking heads here on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Wednesday evening. Now, listen up, everybody. A day in lieu is fast approaching, and we want you, New Zealand, to be a part of it.
Well, Mogey, I don't want to do the admin on this one because I swore last time and almost got fired.
Yeah, that's true, man.
So
rather than making amends, you just want to hand it off to somebody else. Is that about right, man?
Get back
it's not
on
how
the
you
horse.
do it. You got to get back on that horse, Keyzie. Back on the push bike. You've taken a massive L, but it's not the first time. It won't be the last, man. Come on. You can
Keyzie.
Well, to be honest, fellas, I thought it was like a fun way for me to just sort of hand some of the admin around and just share it out amongst the team.
We're going to have some pretty top-level meetings about that before it goes ahead.
Are you
I
sure?
should think so, yes.
I mean, it feels like it's just something that we should all do anyway.
Keyzie, you've got a natural talent, a natural flair for admin.
Right.
You are admin boy.
I'm not admin boy. Having said that, I will happily deliver some admin if it's in support of bowel cancer New
Good
Zealand.
on you, brother.
By the way, text Lou to 3779 right now. Make an instant $3 donation. A day in Lou is happening on Wednesday next
What
week.
was it? 3779.
3779. Text Lou. See, you could be reading it out, and I could be the one pretending to donate.
3779.
Yeah, that's 3779.
Send.
Bullshit. Text Lou. Okay. But next Wednesday, not this Wednesday, fellas, because that would be today.
It would be, Keyzie, yes.
Yeah.
So it's the next one coming. We're going to be doing it from the bowels of Eden Park. It's going to be us and the Alternative Commentary Collective. We're going to have a whole heap of special guests throughout the day. It's a 12-hour broadcast dedicated to raising money and awareness for bowel cancer. It is Bowel Cancer Awareness Month. 1 in 10 Kiwis diagnosed with bowel cancer are under the age of 50, by the way. So it's not one of those things where you say, oh, I'm only a young fella. I don't need to worry about it. You do need to worry about it. If you're 30,
better worry about it.
If you're 30, go get a colonoscopy. Go get it done, man.
Yeah, good stuff, Keyzie.
Get it in you.
That's the story.
Thanks, man.
That's the way
Hey,
to
just
go.
on that front, by the way, if you'd like anyone to join us there, if you've got some ideas for guests that we could have, text us on 3483.
Yes.
Yeah, totally. But also, don't get confused. Also, text Lou to 3779. So there's two separate. So Lou.
Don't text Lou to 3483.
No, because that won't do anything. In fact, that'll just
Muddy the waters.
muddy the waters and actually annoy
Oh, I
us.
think that's what I did.
Oh, is that what you did?
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyte, Mike Minogue, and Keyzie.
Well, there you go, you mad bastards. That's a big show done and dusted for your Wednesday night. Mogey, what did you learn today?
I learnt that we had a bit of a chat about the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
And we decided we'd play the podcast clip at the end of the show.
Do a bit
remember?
of a podcast clip here.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Bit of a change-up,
It's
right,
good stuff.
Jason's only just learned that today.
Yeah. That's what I learned today.
If you've enjoyed listening to the radio show and you'd like some more, check out our podcast. Every day, the highlights of the show and bonus content comes out. Here's a clip from today's bonus poddy. It's entitled Scanner.
I went out with my daughter and my wife for lunch in the last weekend, and my daughter said to me, "Hey, Dad, you remember when you paid $100 for a scanner, you moron?"
Oh, the QR code.
Yeah, the QR.
It's in
You
your
do
camera.
think about how you look in the eyes of your children.
Yeah, that's when I paid $100 to get a QR code scanner thingy.
You signed up
comes
to
as standard on every phone.
just in the camera. And
Yeah.
you signed up to a subscription that you paid in US dollars.
I tell you what, it really annoys me when you go to a restaurant and you have to scan the goddamn menu. Just give me a menu, man.
No, I love that usually because you scan, you click what you want, pay, and it comes to your table.
Keyzie loves it.
You love that technology, eh,
I just
Keyzie?
think it's clever and savvy. And also, QR codes are usually free to scan. I think that's where you're going wrong.
Because you're thinking to yourself, oh, God damn it. It's one of those menus where I have to scan. I'm going to have to buy another one of those scanners.
What did you learn, though, Jase? Anything exciting?
Well, I told you I learned that we do the podcast outro
Oh,
at
yeah.
the end of the show now.
What did I learn? I don't know.
Are we still doing that?
Oh, no, I don't
Nah,
think so.
don't worry about
It's
it.
all over.
Hey, now listen, do go and check out the podcast. Do go and check out the Instagram. Until tomorrow, we'll see you later.
Love you guys.